I'm News 19 meteorologist Brianna Mowry, and we're tracking the tropics with the latest on what is soon to become Tropical Storm Imelda. We're looking at weather impact alert days for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as a multi-day rainfall event will take place, especially depending on where the track is. With the one it has right now, which we're going to dive into here in a minute, we are going to see rainfall across the Midlands, wind gusts, going to be breezy and gusty over the next several days as we head into the start of next week, although the coastal areas will have the highest impacts. Looking at the latest on Tropical Depression 9, it is still a tropical depression at 8 o'clock. It's becoming more organized though, so we are going to see further development as we head into the later part of the weekend. But looking at those wind speeds, still not much of a change from earlier today. 35-mile-per-hour wind speed sustained, gusts up to 45. It will become a tropical storm when those wind speeds get up to 39 miles per hour. It's moving very slowly. It's only moving at 5 miles per hour, so it is moving very slowly. It's over warm water, so it is expected to strengthen. It's just taking its time to develop. So it's sort of a waiting game right now for that development, but it is developing and it is expected to get stronger. Now, Humberto also still far out into the Atlantic. It's a very strong storm, a Category 5 hurricane, 160-mile-per-hour winds, gusts up to 195 miles per hour. It's far out in the Atlantic, not expecting any direct impacts from Humberto here in South Carolina, but Humberto could impact our future Imelda as it tracks closer to South Carolina. So here's the latest on Tropical Depression 9, the 8 o'clock advisory. We have tropical storm warnings now for across the Bahamas, along the just off the Florida coast, and tropical storm watches moving all the way up toward the Georgia coast as well. So those watches and warnings are going out now. Look at the latest track. It's still a tropical depression. It will move to the northwest just off the coast of Florida through as we head into the start of the week. And this system, it's moving a little slower than what it was before. So what we previously thought would be Monday, it looks now more to be a Tuesday event. But Sunday, we're going to see this strengthening to a tropical storm, still a tropical storm on Monday. But by Monday afternoon, we could see it becoming, or into late Monday night, we could see it becoming a Category 1 hurricane. And then by Tuesday, it's expected to kind of stall off the coast. It's still expected to take that turn back to the east. Humberto is going to pull it back away from us, away from making a landfall, which is good news, but we are still expecting significant rainfall as we head into the start of next week. And then, of course, it tracks to the east away from us. So definitely good news there. Those models continuing to trend in that direction, which is probably the best case scenario with this system. It's what we want to see. So we're going to continue to watch those model trends, but here's what they're showing right now. Still showing a pretty general consensus of the storm really moving a little more south and farther to the east. So it is still going to just be right off the coast. It's going to stall, and that stall is what could bring us some of that rainfall. So we want to watch out to see how long this storm is going to stall. Right now, it could be a couple days as it pushes to the east, but overall, models still trending as it gets pulled away, which is definitely good news. Now, we are still tracking Humberto, and we are going to talk about this path as well, because this is what's going to pull Imelda away from us. It's a Category 5 hurricane. It's a major hurricane right now, very strong. No impacts from Humberto directly. So it is going to continue to strengthen over open waters as it moves north, though it will weaken a little bit to a Category 4 and then a 3 and then a 2 as it moves into those cooler northern waters of the Atlantic. But for now, very strong out there, and it does have a strong pull on Imelda. These are the two tracks side by side over the next several days. We can see them sort of not quite parallel, but they do get a little closer together, and then that sharp turn of Imelda. So definitely going to see both of these storms sort of working together to create the impacts we're going to see at the start of the week. But water temperatures, this is what a map of the water temperatures are. They're very warm out there right now. For tropical hurricane development to occur, ocean waters must be 80 degrees or higher. So this whole map has plenty of red on the map. That's 80-degree or warmer water. And if we look at Humberto, it's in about 88-degree water right now, or it's about 86. It's moving toward 88-degree water. But we can see those cooler waters, it will move into those orange colors. It's going to get a little bit too cold for further development, so it's going to weaken. Right now, what will eventually become Imelda, it's over 90-degree water in the Bahamas right now, so that water is well warm enough for the system to develop. It's just taking a little bit of some time to strengthen, but we are expecting it to. And again, that track running along with Humberto. Looking at those wind chances as we head into the next several days, this is not going to be the biggest impact we see, but we could get some pretty gusty winds as we head into next week. Of course, tropical wind chances with Humberto, very likely, but again, that's going to be well off to our east. We're watching out for Imelda, still moving to the north, but as it moves along the South Carolina coast, we could get a little bit of some breezy conditions in the Midlands. As far as tropical storm force winds, it's a very low chance. It's only about a 5% chance here in really the eastern part of the Midlands. But if you're heading toward the coast, that chance increases slightly to about a 30 to 40% chance. So I'm expecting wind gusts in the Midlands to be about 25 to 30 miles per hour. And if you get toward the coast, those wind gusts could get upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour as we head into next week. Of course, those numbers could change depending on the track and how that may change as well. But with the current track forecast, that's what those winds are looking like. Now, looking at hurricane force winds, these are stronger winds. These are not going to be as much of an issue for us. And right now we're not expecting any hurricane force winds to impact the Midlands. Looking closer at home though, we could see them, very, very low chance off the shore of South Carolina. But again, that's a very low chance, only 5% over the ocean just off the coast. So not really expecting any hurricane force winds. That's definitely good news for South Carolina. So not going to be a big wind event, but we are tracking that rainfall. Today, the excess rainfall outlook, we are at a level 1 out of 4. The rain we have out there this evening and we've seen for the rest of today, that's not related to Imelda. That's from a stalled frontal boundary. That cold front moved through on Friday, and then today it's kind of stalled over the area, bringing us continued showers. But as we head into Sunday, this is our drier day. So if you still need a day to prepare, tomorrow is your day. We still could get a few showers tomorrow, but not expecting any widespread rainfall. Now Monday, this is when the rain threat increases and the flooding threat increases. We have a slight risk for excess rainfall for the eastern half of the Midlands, and that's a level 2 out of 4. That means we could see some flash floods, not widespread flash floods, but we could see some isolated to scattered flash floods in many areas. And then even in the western Midlands, there's still a flood threat there. It's a little lower, marginal risk, level 1 out of 4. Isolated flash floods possible. None of them should be intense with that low of a threat, but definitely everyone has the potential for heavy rainfall and flooding as we head into next week, and that even continues into Tuesday. This is where that system's going to stall, which is what's going to lead to that multi-day rain event. So a level 2 out of 4 for almost all of the Midlands on Tuesday. So that yellow shading, the higher threat for flooding, is going to shift a little bit west as we head into Tuesday. So everyone in the Midlands is going to be seeing a couple days to watch out for that risk of flooding. Again, this is areas that are prone to flooding already, runoff, small creeks and streams, areas that don't drain well. And we haven't had a lot of rain in the last couple weeks, so the soil is very dry. That also leads to an increased amount of rainfall, which could also lead to an increased flood threat. So several factors to look at for that flood threat as we head into the week. So everyone in the Midlands needs to prepare for heavy rainfall, periods of heavy rainfall for a couple of days, and a flood threat. Looking at specific totals, this is our rainfall forecast from the Weather Prediction Center, and the upstate could get an inch to a half an inch to an inch. If you're in the Midlands though, you're looking at about 1 inch for the far western Midlands, but if you're in most of the Midlands, a general 2 to 4 inches. Of course, areas in Clarendon, Orangeburg County, and going north toward the PD, they could get closer to 4 to 6 inches of rain. That's along the coast as well, could get 6-7 inches of rain. So definitely higher rainfall totals along the coast, but the Midlands are still expecting several inches of rainfall, and that could easily still cause issues over the coming days. Now, where we are in the season, we are still in the middle pretty much in the middle of the Atlantic hurricane season. It began on June 1st. The peak day was September 10th, so we are past the peak day, but September is still the peak month. So we are just at the end of September into the beginning of October. We still see frequent activity. And we have been a little quiet this season compared to the typical hurricane season or typical normal average year. But we are definitely seeing activity now that is making up for that quiet pattern we got in. But we are going to see activity, we should see on average the frequency of the activity diminishing as we head toward the end of October. Still could see storms in October, but the season officially ends on November 30th. So breaking down all of this information, right now we have Tropical Depression 9. By tomorrow, it's supposed to become Tropical Storm Imelda. This is when it will get the name Imelda. Right now, we're still calling it Future Imelda, but it is going to become Imelda by tomorrow. So everyone in the southeast needs to monitor the forecast, continue to stay weather aware, plan now for scattered showers off and on Monday and Tuesday, a multi-day rain event, as this storm is going to stall before it gets pulled away. Now, how long it stalls is the bigger question, but we are going to continue to keep you updated. We are going to take one more quick look at that track here in a moment, but over the next 3 days, rainfall on Sunday, possibly. That's going to be our driest day. Also going to be our warmest day, high temperature on Sunday of 82. Then we'll see temperatures well below normal in the mid to upper 70s from all the cloud cover and rain. So we are going to get those fall-like temperatures, lows still in the 60s, but those are going to be our higher chances for rain as we head into the beginning to middle of next week. Also, our weather impact alert days are going to continue through Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday. So we are going to continue to bring you these updates on our app, online, and on air. But here's one more look at that forecast track. Again, expected to kind of stall along the coast of South Carolina. Humberto is going to pull it away from us, so that is good news. That's what the models are trending toward. The last several runs over the last day or so have shown this. They've shifted more and more east, which is great news, but we are not out of the woods, still expecting several inches of rainfall across most of South Carolina. So definitely could still see some flooding issues, and that's what we're preparing for, and that's why we're bringing you these updates. So again, we could see about 3 to 5 inches of rainfall and pretty gusty winds, the highest wind gusts along the coast. Continue to get those updates right here on WLTX Plus, online and on air. And again, I'm meteorologist Brianna Mowry.